Mothership Core, just cast one single overcharge if he pressures you. I didn't build any pylons yet at the third base, because I wasn't sure if I could have maybe cancelled it. But now I'm sure we can hold it, so we start to build some pylons there. And we warp in one more time. And then we go attack him with all our charge slots.
Okay.
Behind that we had a Templar's Archive and two forces.
Yes, and as soon as possible we add robotic facilities.
Oh yeah, and robots of course. I completely forgot about that. We were a little bit greedy against ETs. Oh, he failed the force field, I think he's dead.
Build GTs?
No, he went mass sentries, but he didn't force field his run.
Somebody played this against me too, but Arkans break force fields, so he did not have fun time.
Yeah, I mean it was about the first charge attack. But yeah, sentries, like, it doesn't make sense to go to build a lot of sentries in PvP, because eventually Arkans will just break them. Or towards his pylon.
We will stop our pro production and add a lot of gateways.
Yeah, we are 68 probes. So yeah, we add no more. Get a fourth base because our main base is about to run low. There you see the hear the message: mineral fields depleted. That's it. Some more gateways. We have 3, 6, 8, 12 gateways. That seems great. Let's double observer.
Upgrade complete.
I think we could add some cannons.
Mineral field depleted. Mineral field depleted.
Our upgrades are done. Let's start 2-2. And then I think we can attack and kill him.
Okay. This is a question who somebody asked me with this style. Our third attack, sometimes we scout and then we decide, okay, we will do our third attack then. In the Okko style, Okko told everybody just get maxed and then take new bases and stay maxed and kill the opponent. But we often do not wait to get maxed. There are some indicators which we can tell the people when they should attack. And you have warp gates which you
like,
are not.
I think attacking when you're max is a great timing. But yeah, usually we do so much damage with the charge attack. Like as you can see, he's probably on 2 bases, and our army supplies twice as big as his.
Okay.
So yeah, sometimes I'm a little impatient and attack early. Sometimes we max out, like in this game. It's personal preference, I think. If you want to practice your macro, practice your mechanics, go for a max out. If you prefer to play a little bit more aggressive, then you can go and kill them in the mid game.
Okay.
You must construct additional pylons.
I return to serve.
So yeah, now we are maxed,
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
and
Upgrade complete.
We take a warp prism to reinforce our army.
Upgrade complete.
Kill our opponent.
Unacceptable command. My life for iron.
and as you can see, it's really one-sided. We could have killed him in the mid game too. It's really a personal preference on how you attack, when you attack. Unless it's a very close game, obviously. But I think if you focus on your mechanics and on your macro, don't get overwinds, don't get supply block, then I don't think until Diamond or Masters.
Yeah.
And then the game starts to be more complicated. When do I attack? Can I move out? Stuff like that. But decision making is mostly useless in the lower leagues, except the very basic stuff, like build your pylons at the front so you can overcharge, get for charge, scout for is natural.
If you see oracles, build cannons if you can,
Yeah, exactly.
and stuff like that. Yeah, the basic stuff.
And the more advanced stuff, when do I attack? Where do I attack? It's yeah. I'm not Protoss main, so I'm not an expert on this topic, but I don't think it's very important until
Yeah,
Masters.
I'm very curious what will happen if the first proxy oracle will fly into our base. So, but the most
that, I think
important
we just die.
again.
Against that, we probably just die.
Okay, but since we have a very high win rate anyway.
And of
when,
course,
when those two, just 1 second, when those two oracles killed me, I just said GG, well played, because I knew just play the next game and one game doesn't matter.
yeah, and of course, like I'm talking about a well executed proxy oracle. Like if you play proxy oracle perfectly, like with a proxy pylon right here, you don't scout it, you have an oracle in your natural at like the 3-minute mark. I don't think you can hold it with our build orders without stalkers. But I also don't think that players are able to execute this until higher leagues.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, as you can see, like we are facing platinum opponents now, and our opponents
A little bit faster.
Oh yeah, our opponents still go for very weird build orders.
Like Mars sentries.
Yeah, like mass sentries or like his build order. It's not a good PvP build order. Like we haven't played against a single competitive build order yet.
2-gate is very, very common, but mostly with 2 gas. There is the next gas.
Yeah, but
And
like,
then they 2 stalkers or 2 adepts and then try to harass, but in most cases they just forget to build probes all the time.
yeah, and like it's not 2-gate is not executed like that. Like there are some small differences, but they're really important. Like especially in early game, in the first 5 minutes of the game, every mistake is, first of all, I think it's
Crucial,
unnecessary,
yeah.
and it's really big.
Yeah, he builds 2 gates, but doesn't produce anything. It's very
Supply
bad.
blocked, and yeah, like the first gateway, it came too late. The gas came too late.
Yeah.
The second gateway, like you added kinda late. I think you added after the second gas, just right before the first one finishes, and then you get a cybernetic score immediately. Get a second pylon, chrono boost, double stalker.
And what I never encountered, which was very common in Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm, blink all in. It's almost against me. I've never seen it against me in PvP. Didn't face it either, right?
Yeah, blink stock is all ends in PvT and PvC. They're dead, not used anymore. But in PvP, I think they're still kind of common.
Okay. Perhaps our opponents do know that they cannot execute it good enough, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean there are counters to it, but I think Blinkstalker all ends in PvP that can still work.
Yeah, so there only one. Okay, he retreats and goes home instantly.
Yeah.
And his worker production is right now okay, but we're at 11 workers, so and we have a third base, which he did not scout. Would be very important with the stalkers to scout it, because we cannot deny it, his scouting. So yeah.
Yeah, and overall, like now he's missing worker production again. Yeah, like what I said at the beginning of the game, like you probably don't think it's the case up until Masters. I'm kind of baffled on how very poorly and the build orders are. Like I'm not talking about like a very difficult build orders that you need to perfectly hammer down the first 10 minutes, but like the first 5 minutes of the game, in my opinion, it's not very difficult to execute.
So he could have force fielded us forever there. Attacked from the other side.
Well,
but even then he could have bought time with the force fields.
But even if he would have needed to retreat, we have a third base up. We have 20 more probes. Oh well, we lost some now. Yeah, we would have still had 15 more probes. We have double forge upgrades now and double robo on the way.
He would have never gotten a third base.
And the sentries are pretty useless in PvP except for scouting. The moment we would have had Archons, which is now his 10 sentries or 5 sentries would have been useless.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think we can speed up now.
Yeah. Like this is the part when you ask me like, well, when do we kill him in the mid game? When do we not? Like our opponent has 4 zealots, 4 sentries. We could kill him at any point we want.
Yeah. Cannon in every economy line.
Yeah. Maybe just the only time you don't want to attack is when you invested heavily into other stuff. Like for example, like what we did, like we added 4 cannons, we added a 4th nexus, and we added 6 gateways. This is maybe like the only time we shouldn't attack, when we have like almost 2,000 resources in production.
Yeah, and I totally agree, and we can just defend then. They never attacked us when we did that. They attack a little bit in the early game and scout the front and try to do a little bit of damage, but when they see we have charged, they just retreat and wait, and then, yeah, then we can do whatever we want. Okay.
Yeah, but especially if you're, maybe especially for players in bronze and silver, I would suggest to always max out. Simply.
I totally agree. And take a 4th space and a 5th space.
Yeah.
And protect it.
Try to have constant robo production, constant upgrades. Yeah. It was a nice game.
Yeah, things are
I
too
think
very straightforward.
Charge attack once again basically won us the game. Yeah.
And we see you guys next time.
Ja, see you guys.
So, dann bitte den Streamer ausmachen.